Some recent research of mine suggests that the cherry in a cocktail goes back, way back to like the beginning of cocktails, way back to the mid or even early 1800s, which was really surprising to me. And not only is cherries in cocktails an older phenomenon than I ever thought I knew, it was probably universal. I think it was so common and so expected as to be beneath mentioning. And I'm basing this on research that I did on the history of the martini olive that turned up reports in newspapers from around 1898, 1899 that thought it was so crazy that martinis were suddenly being served with olives instead of cherries that they had to write about it. That blows my mind. I've also seen from that time and before in newspapers little rhyming jokes and sidelines and stuff like that about how the cherry in your cocktail is so fundamental to something, right? Well, blah, blah, blah is the cherry in your cocktail. The wheels on your car are the cherries in your cocktail, whatever the heck that means. The cherry in your cocktail was so ubiquitous as to be beneath mentioning. The history of preserving cherries is a very interesting topic, and it goes back to, God, I don't know, the Middle Ages probably. And in fact, just a few years ago, they found a cache of jars buried at Mount Vernon of cherries that had been preserved since 1750. Well, they weren't preserved anymore. They were attempted to be preserved in 1750. They had gone quite off. And so people were eating cherries in their cocktails way before Luxardo ever started jarring these guys up and selling them, which was about 1909. Where were they getting them from? Well, they were making them themselves. Pharmacist down the street was probably making them and jarring them up. There were probably commercially distributed brands around the US and elsewhere. And maybe the bartender would have been making these cherries. And I bet that everybody had their own riff on it. We now consider the Luxardo Maraschino cherry to be sort of the gold standard, the standard for cocktail cherries, with the alternative being the neon red American-style Maraschino cherry. I occasionally get a comment or two where people sort of crack jokes about my pronunciation of maraschino. That is not me. That is a thing that bartenders came up with a number of years ago, I think during sort of the cocktail revival, the Renaissance, to distinguish the better cocktail cherries people were now using, the Luxardo Maraschino cherries, from the American-style Maraschino cherries. The pronunciation indicates a different product. It's not an affectation. I don't eat manicato rigatoni, okay, any more than I watch a volcano explode. It's just so that people know what we're talking about. It's a shared language. Now, I love cocktail cherries. I kind of grew up with a Shirley Temple in my hand for reasons, and finding out that cocktail cherries sort of belong in almost every cocktail gives me license to throw them around with abandon, which is very exciting. As I said, the maraschino cherries of Luxardo are kind of expensive, so I have been working for quite a while. This project has been going on for a year at making my own maraschino cherries. And these aren't brandied cherries. These are preserved, sweetened cherries. You can just throw brandy or cognac or any kind of alcohol really onto some cherries and it will preserve them. It will also soak them with alcohol and make them taste like a boozy little nightmare, in my opinion. Even as a person who loves cocktails, that is not what I'm looking for in a cocktail cherry. I want something like this. And so I am working on this project to make these homemade maraschino cherries of my own design. Very exciting process. That episode is in progress and on its way. But we can do some research along the way because there have proliferated an absurd number of jarred, preserved cocktail cherries on the market. And which ones are the best? Which ones are good for this cocktail or that cocktail? Which ones are a little spicy or a little sour or cinnamony or vanilla-y? Which one just do I like in a cocktail cherry? Today, I'm gonna find out because I'm gonna eat them all. I'm gonna just go nuts and eat all the cherries. My wife, when I told her I was making this episode, she looked at me, she said, "You're gonna use a spit bucket, right?" I said, "For gin, yes. For cherries, no." All right, let's get these out of here and start tasting some cherries. That's it. That's what this episode is. You might be saying to yourself, Greg, this is the lowest effort content you could make. This is bottom of the barrel, thoughtless, no effort, phoning it in content. You are correct. This is a dream episode for me. All I have to do is stand here and eat cherries. But it's a useful episode because I kind of need to do this research. And I have a funny feeling that what are the best cherries for blah, blah, blah is actually information that people who make cocktails would be interested in having. So I'm glad you're here. Let's go. Let's eat the cherries. This might be weird. Just so that we understand for clarity, I do have my palate cleansing seltzer, and I'll be eating these cherries from cocktail picks that I will be cleaning in warm water so as to not contaminate one flavor with the next. Let's begin with the granddaddy, the best, the one that we all know and love, Luxardo Maraschino Cherries. These are, of course, the bartender's standard, in my opinion. They do get sticky. They get sticky. Don't embarrass me in front of the girls. Come on. Dude, you're making me... All right, there we go. Come on now, bro. Oh, this one's like cross-threaded. It was cross-threaded. It was cross-threaded. It was cross-threaded, okay? And one more ground rule before we proceed. This little guy is called a refractometer. A special lens, it splits light. Put your sample on there, you look through it. This one has a little chip in the glass, it'll be fine. And it tells you how much % sugar the syrup is in. So one of the pieces of information we'll find out is how much sugar each syrup is by refractometer. It's called Brix, and I don't know what it stands for. Is it 100% bang on accurate? Well, this scale goes from 0 to 80, so I mean, it's hard to see it, but it's that accurate, right? So let's start with the granddaddy cherry, the master cherry guy Cherry over here, Don Cherry. Let him go. The Luxardo Maraschino cherry. These cherries are very dark in color. I would say deep crimson, nearly black. They are shiny. They are small. The Luxardo Maraschino cherry is a Marasca cherry, although Luxardo would tell you it is not a Marasca cherry. They would tell you it is a Luxardo cherry, which is their own orchard's Marasca cherry. They have a nice density. They have a nice snap. And they're very sweet. I don't know that I would ever say that a Luxardo Maraschino cherry tastes like a cherry. They certainly don't taste like a fresh cherry. They have, I would say, notes of like marzipan, like a sweet almond candy. And you know, maybe even some orange. Maybe there is some orange notes in there too. They're very nice. They taste lovely. Let's see where they clock on the old Brixometer. This highly viscous stuff is a little tricky. Then we squash our sample flat, and we look into a very bright light. And I can tell you that this is 70 Brix. So this syrup apparently is something like 70% sugar, which is very high. At 60%, I think you would call it candy. And now I have to wash this off. So that's our Luxardo cherry. Much like in my gin tasting episode, this is totally arbitrary. I could give you a scoring schema, but what the hell would it mean? Let's just go by tasting notes and you can decide which ones you like the best. And I'll tell you my favorites too. That's what we'll do. This one is my favorite so far. It's the first cherry I've had. It's better than the last cherry I had before that, which wasn't one. So we're off to a good start. Let's move on to the next cherry. There is no order or rhyme or reason to this. It's just whatever's in grasp. This cherry is Griotines, cherries in liqueur. Oh, a unique recipe of wild Morello cherries in Kirsch. Okay. Oh God. This is gonna be an embarrassing day. So right away, I don't love these for color. They're pale. They're probably very naturally colored. That's boring. That's boring. I want my cherries to either be really neon red or a dark, deep crimson blood. These are kind of a ruddy sort of brown, rusty, maybe not rusty, but I gather it's a more natural color. I'm sure there is some color in here, right? Do they have that listed? They don't have their ingredients listed, unless I'm missing it somehow. Maybe it's on there, we'll find it. And they're a little bit wrinkly, but that's okay. That's okay. They are punched through to remove the pit. These taste like booze. Oh, and they have a nice woody finish. So these guys are in alcohol. I don't know what the ABV is, but they taste like alcohol. They have a note that reminds me of brandy of raisins, oak. They're actually pretty cool. I would call them a brandied cherry, which may or may not be appropriate for your cocktail. I don't personally want an alcoholic cherry in my alcoholic drink. I just don't. I want it to be a contrast flavor. I don't need more alcohol in my alcoholic drink. I can just pour a little more alcohol in my alcoholic drink. Let's get the Brix of our griots, which I think is gonna be quite low. 44%, 44 Brix. They're saying it's 53% sugar, so maybe my thing is off. Yeah, the ingredients are in French. And I think they're saying, I don't know what the heck, alcohol 13.13 CL, 40% volume. Does that mean it's ABV 40%? It might. The more I think about it, the more they taste like raisins to me. Declaration nutritionnelle par 100 grams. Yeah, no ingredients that I am seeing. Natural, no preservatives, yada yada. I'm not seeing any color listed, so maybe that is just the color they come out. All right, on to the speed rails. I'm not even joking, Meredith was very angry at me about how much money I spent on these cherries. I think there's a lot of vanilla ice cream in our future because the speed rails are full of cherries. And oh, we'll do this one too so I don't miss it. Tashi, Amarena cherry. Life is sweeter since 1945. I'm hoping this thing's a pull top. Candied sour black cherries in syrup. They are not making the claim that these are for cocktails. Some of these guys are like newer kind of craft cocktail brands and they're saying, hey, it's a cocktail cherry. Oh, good. It has a little ring top on here, so I can just open it right up. Oh, wow, look at this. This looks like a maraschino cherry. Like a lot. Very similar to a maraschino cherry. Similar color, texture, and size. Now, I've had other Amarena cherries, and they don't taste like maraschino, so I'm interested in seeing what we're at here. This tastes like a cherry icy, like a red icy. It is not a very sophisticated flavor. I would say it's got a high level of acidity, but maybe I just don't have the language for what I'm looking for. It tastes kind of fake. I mean, like in common parlance, it tastes a little bit like cough syrup. I don't like it. I have to keep tasting these to keep, you know, getting the notes out. The shell is good. The skin is a pleasing texture, but it's very mushy inside. I don't find that to be the case with a Luxardo cherry. They have a good density, a good bite all the way through, in my opinion. And we are, of course, comparing to Luxardo by and large, because they are the standard. That little wash bottle you just saw is just full of alcohol, so that I can clean this between tastings. Let's see what we're looking at here for bricks. That light worked. 68%, and that makes sense because it's about the same viscosity as the maraschino. Also, I hate this jar because like that sucker frightens me. Like that could be knocked over and it's toast. Okay, the cherries that don't fit on the speed rail have been tested. We're moving on now to barrel roll. This is our first like craft cocktail intentional cherry. They are bourbon infused, supposedly. So let's try it. Let's try these. Did I say anything about ingredients? Cherries, water, sugar, citric acid, dark cherry juice concentrate, elderberry juice. Oh, vanilla. I don't want to know that stuff because then now I'm looking for those flavors. I should not read those. Somebody out there is right now saying, you know, you should be doing this blind. I guess. You set up a blind tasting on your own, alone. Figure that one out. I've tried. It's hard. Okay. So the top cherries here are not even in juice. I don't know how I feel about that. We might have to dig down because the ones that are under the juice may have a different texture. Red, slightly clear. I find this to be a pretty decent color. Ooh, nice bite. They taste like tobacco. Oh man, I like these. The flavor's a bit loud, but they taste like tobacco. This will go good in an old fashioned. I guess I gather why they're saying they taste like they're bourbon flavored, but it's like one flavor note from a bourbon. They're probably getting there by combining a bunch of different flavors, but humidor is like the main thing I'm getting. But let's, you know, I hate to have to do this. I have to like basically dig because I want to get the ones that are down in the syrup because they are gonna maybe have a different flavor. Okay, here we go. This one's in syrup. Not really, same. That's a cool cherry. I like that a lot. Ah, finally we're having fun. We're getting into some interesting things here. Scary old bricksameter. People right now are like, Greg, you've been filming all day. Ha ha ha. No, I'm just a goofy bastard. I'm not actually as drunk as you all think I am. 44, 46%, something like that. Bricks. So not candied like some of these other ones. I think this is a quality cherry. I like these. I like these a lot. I was gonna put these back in, but you know what? Who am I kidding? I'm just gonna eat them. I have a good bite. I will say this. I mean, they don't have like the sophistication, the complexity of a maraschino from Luxardo, but that's okay. I think they're good. Oh, and these guys have to be refrigerated after opening. That is the only jar of cherries I've seen that say that. So that's interesting too. Even though they've got potassium sorbate, sodium benzoate, and cherry juice. I should be testing pH too, but my God, how crazy are we gonna get? That's a good cherry. I'll say that. Next jar. What have we got here? Oh, Peninsula Premium. Never heard of these before. Amazon said that people like it. That's what Amazon told me. It was like, Amazon #1. Oh, dark color. Larger than a maraschino cherry. I'm guessing this is an American variety of cherry, like a Morello or something. Good color, good texture. It looks very nicely shaped, smooth. I like the darkness of it. I'm not into the flavor. Oh yeah. Good texture. You can really taste the acid in it. Wow, it's like, that can't be for real. It's like Sour Patch acidic. After you swallow it, it's like really tingling in my mouth on the way down. All right, let's find out where the Peninsula falls on the old Brixometer. Why do I gotta stop saying the old Brixometer. It's a stupid thing to say. 67.5 bricks. Okay, pretty sweet. I hate this cherry. Sorry, American grown and made Peninsula Premium. I'm shocked at how much variation there is here, which is so cool. It's very vindicating because I was worried this was a stupid episode, but in fact, this is a good episode. Yeah, they're so tangy, but not in like a natural way. Like we're back to, again, something you get off of the Italian ice truck when you're 10 years old. Like this tastes like red flavor. I'm not into it. Ingredients: cherries, water, sugar, corn syrup, cherry juice, concentrate, elderberry juice concentrate, natural flavoring, vegetable juice concentrate for color, and citric acid. Real cherries may contain pits. Okay. Yeah. All right, so again, these are in no particular order. Have you ever eaten the green cherry? I've seen them. I haven't seen them in years. I used to see them in the grocery store when I was a kid. Never had one, I don't think. And then I realized, like, well, they were on Amazon when I was putting this whole thing together. These are Vide, the original maraschino cherry. And I realized, man, we don't use green cherries in cocktails, but it's kind of a cool idea, actually. You know, there's drinks that might really benefit from a green cherry if there was a craft cocktail version of a green cherry. Oh, Chartreuse cherries. Neon green cherry here. Such a mild flavor. I'm shocked. I mean, I could be thrown because of the last one being so tart, but these are not good. I mean, they're fine. They're not really offensive. Texture is it's a decent skin, kind of soft on the inside. Not really a good chew. It comes across as quite sweet. It comes across that way. It has really no evolution, no interesting flavors. I guess maybe it's like muted almond or vanilla, maybe? I don't know. This is not a reward at the end of a cocktail. It just isn't, you know? It doesn't really, Let's see where we're at on the old Brixometer. 50, 53. That's interesting though. Now I am contemplating the concept of something like Chartreuse cherry. That's a cool idea. Eli Mason, Nashville, Tennessee cocktail cherries. Showing promise, at least branding wise. I like the branding. Wow, now that's texture. Look at that, there's not a wrinkle on that thing. That looks like a brand new cherry. Shiny, lacquered finish, dark red, maybe not quite as dark red as a maraschino cherry from Luxardo, but certainly right where I want it to be. It says clove and cinnamon notes in it that just remind me of like a Christmas ham. Really just took me back to my grandmother's house when I was a kid. I like this cherry a lot. I mean, it's super Christmassy to me. I can't explain it better than that. It is definitely in the vein of a Luxardo. This is the closest yet. I think it's a little bit more tart than a Luxardo. And by closest, I mean, this is hard to explain. It doesn't really have the same flavor as a Luxardo cherry. I wouldn't say that, but it's going for that same vibe, right? Like this is more cinnamon, more clove. I'm sure vanilla's in there. Vanilla's in everything, but I'm not really picking up on it loudly. Christmas things. Luxardo doesn't have that. I would say that Luxardo probably has some orange notes and a peel in there maybe, and more almondish notes, which makes sense, by the way. Cherries have benzaldehyde in them, as well as prussic acid, or the precursors too. And benzaldehyde is like that almond flavor, right? This doesn't really have that going on, and it could be down to the species of cherry, but it's attempting to be kind of an American answer to that in a way that I like. It has a bigger evolution and a more complex flavor than barrel roll, but they do kind of two different things. So fun, really cool. This is super neat. My hands are so sticky. I can eat like a little bowl so I can be like a raccoon. My neighbors are doing yard work again. It's like 6, 7, 8 o'clock at night right now. Just doing the yard work. So if that's in the show, I am sorry. It's just, you can't escape it. 57.5 bricks. Just check the old cell phone at 7:45 p.m. We got loud yard work going on outside. That seems impolite. I don't live in one of those HOA neighborhoods, so it's fine. That's their business. This is my business. Muddle me. so sexual. Muddle me, Amarena cocktail cherries. Luxurious Amarena style. All right. The branding on this, I just got a quick glimpse of it. Do you remember Viennetta? the ice cream roll? This is luxurious Viennetta ice cream roll. Oh.
It's delicious premium ice cream. It's irresistible.
Oh, you can't afford Viennetta. So fancy. I don't know why. It sort of gives me Viennetta vibes. All right. Syrup looks lighter, so I'm expecting this to have a lower bricks. Texture is okay. Not quite as dark as some of the other cherries here, but certainly not going for like a neon red type. It is definitely going for a dark style cherry. There's a little bit of a wrinkle here. I'll take a look at some others and see if that's a repeated thing or if they mostly have a good smooth skin. Ice cream truck cherry. Big tart finish. A lot of acid in there. Let's try that again. No, I don't like this cherry at all. Sorry, Viennetta. Cough syrup vibes to me. It's not bad, and it's not cough syrup, it's not, but that's the flavor profile I'm getting from this. And I think it's because it has a high level of acidity. These probably all have a high level of acidity. This one tastes acidic, and I'm guessing malic acid. I like citric acid. I know citric acid is in here, it's listed right here. I often wonder if they can hide malic acid under natural flavors, which is on here. Cherry, sugar, water, fruit, vegetable concentrates, color, 4 color, citric acid, natural flavors, luxurious, succulent, dark, deep, cherry, premium juice. Give him the premium juice. Okay, and we are clocking in 57 bricks. I love this branding. It's got, oh, Tempest Fugit made this. Ooh, I have high expectations from Tempest Fugit Spirits. I love the branding on this. I'm a huge fan of turn of the century fruit crate lithographs. It's like a style. And in fact, Orange Industries, that was their original logo. So it's got, you know, we've got a pedigree there. A little dry. Not all of these are in syrup. Not a great sign, honestly. Why does that matter? Well, because the ones that are in air, I have found just from my own experiments, they do tend to dry out and get wrinkly. So that's why I got to dig down to where the syrup is, which is thick. Small, marasca sized. Maybe it's a marasca. I think I saw the word Italy on there. Dark. Ooh, dense. Oh, what the fuck? What the shit? That tastes like poison. I swallowed a little of it. Fuck. All right, well, screw these. I'm sorry, Tempest Fugit. It says it's in alcoholic syrup, man. It tastes, yeah, but not nice. It tastes like a hospital or something. Ew. I was not expecting to have like a straight up cursed cherry. Maybe my expectations are wrong and that's coloring this, but like honestly, my first thought was don't eat anymore. That might be like it went bad, and I'm not going to. The syrup itself I'm noticing is actually kind of a brownish color. 65, 6.5% bricks. Sorry guys, this one sucks. It really sucks. I wish it didn't. Ingredients: cherries, glucose syrup, sugar, water, alcohol, sour black cherries. That's not the taste. It's not that they're sour cherries. Juice concentrate, Arabic gum, cherry distillate, it's Kirsch, cacao extract, sweet cherry juice, concentrate, black. I mean, I honestly think maybe something went bad with these. It's 12% ABV. Something went wrong there, I think. Seriously, I hate to say, like, I can't recommend them because I can't promise another jar won't taste like that, but I would be totally unsurprised if this one was bad. Trying to give them the benefit of the doubt there. Sucked. I swallowed a little nibble of it and it makes me nervous. I think we'll be okay. We'll survive. Oh, I love it. Filthy brand red cherry. This is insane, but I swear to God, I just watched a documentary on Night Flight Plus about dudes living in the subway on the Upper West Side in Manhattan back in the 90s. And I looked up the guy who made it, and I think this is his company. I think he went on to found Filthy Cherries. No, it was a coincidence, I wasn't looking for these. This says these are perfect for rum cocktails, long-stemmed maraschino cherries. I have to say, there's a part of me that really says, dude, if you can embrace this vibe, the American maraschino cherry, this color, but like class it up, make it awesome, that's so cool to me. These are our first stem on cherries, totally American style. Nope, not gonna tell that story. What was that flavor? I have to say they're kind of boring. There's banana. Yeah, amyl acetate. Definitely like fake banana notes. That's so weird. That's why they're saying it's good for rum though. Yes, absolutely. Wow, not what I would expect or want. Oh yeah, long stems for tongue tying. That was the story I was gonna tell. Cherries, water, corn syrup, high fructose corn syrup, malic acid, citric acid, natural and artificial flavors, potassium sorbate, and sodium benzoate as preservatives. Oh, and red 40, obviously that's how you get that color. And sulfur dioxide. Refrigerate after opening. Oh, we gotta do the bricks. By the way, Night Flight Plus, my favorite streaming service. Hey, Night Flight people, I would love to do something with you. I really would. I love Night Flight Plus. I stay up all night watching Night Flight Plus. It's an old magazine format music show that was on a bunch of networks. You know, it was for people who were staying up late and watching music documentaries. It's also a bunch of schlock horror, lots and lots of Roger Corman, lots of really unexpected stuff, lots of Italian horror, lots of, well, frankly, a bunch of softcore. And I love it. It brings me back to the 90s when you never knew what you were gonna see. Just fever dream TV. What kind of madness are we gonna get into tonight? So I strongly encourage you to download and sign up for Knife Flight Plus. They are not a sponsor. I kind of wish they were. We could do like a podcast or something I could review. That would be a cool job for me if I could be Joe Bob Briggs of Knife Flight Plus. Yeah. The Elvira of Knife Flight Plus. Please, guys, I'm available. And SAG eligible. 35 bricks. Jack Rudy Cocktail Company. Sounds cool. Jack Rudy legendary. Create our products to celebrate the life of our great grandfather, Jack Rudy. Days were filled with adventure. Cool. Jack was a pilot, craftsman, daredevil, and inventor. Above all, he's a gracious host. We hope to be a bit more fancy-free in his honor. Established 2011 bourbon cocktail cherries. One complaint about these, I ordered via Amazon and they leaked. So yeah, it seems like they just kind of got unscrewed or something somehow. So there's a lot of different machines you can use to punch out the pit of a cherry. And I don't know if it's showing up on camera or not, but Jack Rudy uses one that punches a big hole. Doesn't matter to me. They have the stem on. Good bite. The texture on these are phenomenal. And I kind of like that the syrup is light. I mean, like these cherries look like cherries. They're a little bit darker, but they don't visually give me a vibe of like highly artificially colored, which is cool. Good skin texture, really good skin texture, not hyper acidic, has those tobacco vibes that I really like from the other one. That might just be like a feature of the quote bourbon cherry that, you know, people who buy bourbon cherries are going to expect. I like this cherry a lot. That's a damn fine cherry. It still tastes like a cherry. I have a fridge full of cherries right now for the episode I'm doing. And every time I walk by my fridge, I have to eat a few because I'm a cherry addict. This is a preserved, sweetened cocktail cherry that tastes like a cherry, not an idea of a cherry. I'm impressed by that. And it also tastes like more, right? It still tastes like I said, it has like that tobacco note. It has like more going on than just being a cherry, but you can still taste that it was at one time a cherry. All right, let's see here. Where are we at? We're at 33, 4, 5 bricks. Next cherry, please. I like Jack Rudy, highly recommend, as long as their jars don't always leak. Look, I'm not gonna lie, I got low expectations for Royal Harvest Bordeaux Maraschino Cherries. They give it kind of an Aldi vibe. I don't know anything about this brand. There's probably like a mom and pop company, very nice people. Like, Aldi, this bastard. Okay, I mean, like, this is basically the same, visually, this is the same cherry as Jack Rudy. So everything I said about that, maybe this is no, I was gonna say it's pretty firm. I was gonna say maybe it's lightly less firm, but has a big hole punch. Harsh stem. Pretty good cherry. It tastes like a black cherry. I was like, does this taste a lot like a Jack Rudy cherry? Not really, because it's missing those tobacco notes, but in like the other ways, kind of yes. I'm a little bit impressed. This is not what I was expecting. This is a nice cherry. I would not mind this in my cocktail. It has a great skin. The flesh of the cherry is a bit softer. I will say that. It's not bad by any means. I'm impressed. Sorry I besmirched you. Let's find out your bricks. I would like a bigger evolution. For something that's going into a cocktail, it's a component of a cocktail that it should be, in my opinion, all about maximizing balance and flavor evolution and flavor contrast and all those things. This is not a very loud flavor. I couldn't say that, oh, this will be a neat contrast to a blah cocktail. It will be somewhat unimpressive, and it does not have like an evolution. It has no like, additional notes to it. But it does click in at 35 bricks. I think all the bourbon brands now have their own cocktail cherry, and Evan Williams is no exception. I don't know about all, but I do know that I've got another one over here. Woodford Reserve coming up. Evan Williams, bourbon black cherries. Let's see if this is proving what I suspected, that just like bourbon cherry, well, that means tobacco. Okay, so right away, we got packaging issues. We have like destroyed cherries here. Just one though, maybe. This one is quite pretty. You know what it reminds me of? I love that movie Serial Mom, and there's a scene, Matthew Lillard is like a horror movie buff, and then they see a real murder happen, and he freaks out because the blood wasn't red, it was brown. Reminds me of that. Okay, bizarrely chewy. Honestly, I guarantee that some part of the brining process that gave this an incredible chew, but this has like big time vanilla and tobacco notes that kind of remind me of like vanilla flavored hookah tobacco. It's leaning in the direction of Kraken to me. I'm not a fan. It's super chewy. It does have a bite, has a tartness to it. It's weird how chewy it is. No other cherry has this texture. It doesn't have a snappy skin. It has a toughness to it, which is interesting, I suppose. It is its own thing. I don't love it at all. I'm gonna say I don't even like it. Forget love. We're not even clocking in on like. Here we go. It is 34 bricks. Oh, does it not even want to seal? That's another good sign. Okay, it's sealed. Also, I'm noticing that like a lot of the cherries have like all multiple part stems and stuff. Like these things are probably like white labeled. I'm serious, I hate this. I mean, like they might be. Also, Evan Williams is not a very fancy brand, you know, whatever. Because like these seem like they were just like thrown together fast. Distributed by Inclin Enterprises. I don't know. Cherries, water, you know what's in there. Apple juice concentrate, citric acid, brown sugar, bourbon, natural and artificial flavors, orange juice concentrate, lemon juice concentrate, sodium benzoate, potassium sorbate, blah, blah, blah. Yeah. Hey! First speed rail is finished. We got a whole nother speed rail to go. That's a really good time for me to bring up the fact that this show is only made possible through the support of my patrons. Obviously, a giant cherry tasting is not hard-hitting content, but if you like this show and you'd like to see it continue, I can't stress this enough. It is just a fact of life. YouTube, something happened, man. It ain't cutting the mustard, and despite the simplicity of this particular episode, most of the stuff I do on this show requires, frankly, a lot of effort and time. It's multiple full-time jobs between me, Meredith, and our editors. And something like that is not cheap to make. And the only way it could continue is through Patreon. If you like the show and you would like to see it continue, just take a look at my Patreon. It's at patreon.com/howtodrink. See if there's anything over there that you like. There is exclusive content, behind the scenes content, extended episodes, episodes without ads, access to our private Discord, which is really a kind of a surprisingly amazing community. I think we're setting off. And you'll get access to the HTD app that I designed so that you can use the show as your own personal cocktail guide. It makes it so much easier. Thank you so much for taking a look. And for those of you who are already supporting the show, I will see you in the Discord. And thank you. You make literally my world go round, and I am touched and humbled by your support. Next cherry, Collins Bright Red Stemmed Cherry Cocktail Garnish, established Chicago, 1934. There it is. This, whoa, Little Cherries Neon Red. These are American Maraschino cherries. There is a candy apple red. The red here, I might be crazy, but this red is a little bit different than some of the other neon red cherries that I have seen. They look painted. A lot of the neon red cherries are almost translucent. This is not. This looks like a solid cherry. All right, we'll dig a little deeper and see if one that's down in the sauce is any better, but it didn't taste good. These are fucking fishy. Like they taste like fish. They have a nasty chew. The skin is like undigestible, like you just chew it and chew it and chew it while the flesh is falling apart. 100% they have like a fish note in the flavor profile. Another cursed cherry, I hate it. Don't use this cherry. Sorry, I hate it. This sucks, man. I want to make a joke about these small neon red cherries being some kind of roe, like fish egg, because of their fishy note, but they're not quite that fishy. But honestly, any level of fishiness in a cocktail cherry is unacceptable to me. That sucks. I was actually thinking like, well, that's cool. I'll have a lot of cherries for the kids for their ice cream. No, I can't. Some of these are going right in the garbage. 33 bricks on the old Collins Maraschino. We're back to filthy again. This is their black cherry wild Italian Amarena cherry. Perfect for whiskey cocktails, unlike the one that they had that was perfect for rum cocktails. I do like that idea that there's a different cherry for each cocktail, right? Much thicker syrup on this. These are dark red Italian style preserved cherries, smaller in size, really nice density by appearance. The skin is nice and smooth and lacquered looking. No deep wrinkles or anything to comment on. I want to like this cherry more than I do. It's close. It's got too much acidity, way too much. It's a sin that other ones have made. It has like what should be a very interesting arrangement of spices, but then it is really taken over by like pixie stick kind of thing, you know, like a sweet tart kind of thing, like almost a Sour Patch Kid. It's not like it like that where it bites your tongue, but it has that kind of a tang to it. Tang, it tastes like. Which bizarrely pushes it into the direction of medicine, cough syrup. I'm just realizing it now, but that's like kind of what like that cherry cough syrup you had growing up tastes like. Texture has a good skin density, but it's one of the ones that's kind of mushy on the inside. Not my favorite, not my favorite. I mean, it'd be okay. It'd be a surprise because you would look at it in your drink if you got it at a bar and be like, oh, Luxardo Cherry. And you bite into it and be like, what the hell? But do with this information what you will. It gets a little blurry at that end of the scale. Oh, geez. 65-ish. The boundary kind of falls apart on you, but it's like 65-ish bricks. Next cherry, Fabry. This, I think, if you can't get maraschino or you want to do something a little different, you get the Fabry, right? Like you'll find this where you find Luxardo. I've had these. I'm gonna have it again right now. They are not the same thing as a Luxardo Maraschino cherry. They are a completely different animal. Smaller, red-skinned, more red than dark. Kind of a rusty, you know, like a ruddier kind of red. Not quite cereal mom blood, but you know, definitely not like the blackish red that a Luxardo cherry has. It is small. These have like a perfumed quality to them. A fairly tart finish. Oh, there was something else in there. What was that? Ooh, that's an interesting note. It has like an herbal quality to it for a second. There's a note that I don't like, and I'm having a hard time placing it. It's very lemony, maybe. Lemon oil, kind of. It's followed by something that I kind of find interesting. It's not clove, but it's in that space. I don't know, maybe it's mace? I don't know enough about spices. It's a spice that I find interesting. These have a bitterness to them that's very mild, but persistent, which I would say that none of the other ones do. I just said a lot of words that I have not said for, I don't think, any other cherry here for the most part. So they do have their own thing going on. It could be expectations, right? Like, I was gonna say I don't like it nearly as much as a Luxardo, but maybe if I had grown up with these, I would like these a lot more. Not that I grew up with Luxardo, but you know, they were my first real cherry. Let's brix it. It is 65, 66 bricks. Yeah, this is a tough one to place, I have to say. I would say it's an alternative to Luxardo, but like a completely different flavor. What cocktails would I put it in? I don't know why, but for some reason I want to put it in the last word. I think a lot of cherries would work in the last word, and I think from now on when I have a last word, it's getting cherries. Because I found out that like basically all the cocktails should have cherries. I don't know that I would. My wife is right, I should have used a spit bucket. I thought I'd get away with tasting one cherry per jar, but not really. The flavors don't linger quite as long as a cocktail. Collins, again, Bordeaux cherry. Does that mean that it's in Bordeaux syrup or something? I think Collins, yeah, I had their red cherry and their red maraschino. It was bad. Chewy, tough skin, soft mush middle. I don't like that. The flavor has a note in it that kind of sort of reminds me of some of the bourbon cherries that have that humidor tobacco thing. I just like the texture a lot. I really do. Yeah, there's some off flavors in here. It's muted as well. Okay, so I don't like it. I wish I could put into words what it is that I don't like about it. Really having a hard time placing it. I might have to literally eat more of these. It's just like, I can't. What does that taste like? It's not pleasant, but I'm having a hard, what is that? This doesn't sound crazy, but I just built a trellis for my garden. It vaguely reminds me of the smell of sawdust from a pressure-treated 4x4. I think it's the acidity level and whatever else is going on in there, kind of just hitting some like perfect two-part harmony that tastes like copper-impregnated wood. It's not the most offensive thing in the world, to be honest, but you know, you're comparing it to 10,000 different cherries, right? Like, some of them are worse. This is worse. 34 bricks. Damn it. Luck of the draw. Collins again. This is their bourbon cocktail cherry. I kind of like the color. It has a purplish, light red look. Doesn't have that nice lacquered, sort of blackish red look that I really like. And it is punched straight through. All right, whatever. Again, I don't like the texture. It's one of those ones where the inside falls apart, but you're stuck still chewing on the outside. Flavor-wise, this is the best of the Collinses. It does have a slightly artificial tasting, maybe vanilla, yeah, vanilla humidor hookah note, which I guess that's what they're going for when a bourbon cherry. That must be what you expect in the marketplace. Oh no, I don't like that one. Some of them taste very medicinal. I gotta say, I wonder if, I mean, I'm finding different notes in all these, but I do have to wonder if like some of these are like almost white labeled and there's like one manufacturer making a bunch of different brands. This is distributed by True Fabrications, TrueBrands.com. Cherries, water, sugar, fruit and judgment, concentrate, citric acid, natural flavors, and bourbon. You can refrigerate after opening. Kind of a lingering medicine-y taste. A little bit of the cough syrup thing that was going on in some of these other ones. So many better cherries, you know? Just so many better cherries. Did I brix it? Sure, it's 34%. Start guessing. 34%! I'll call it too. That's what I'll do. I'll start calling it. Wouldn't that be crazy? Find out you can just nail it. You got that special, my weird special talent is I know how much sugar is in that. But it only applies to cherries. Ah, Woodford Reserve Bourbon Cherry. Let's try it. These guys had the distinction of arriving first and sitting on my kitchen counter, so some of them have been eaten. These taste like cherries. Interestingly, these are probably one of the more cherry-like flavors. They taste like black cherries. They taste like, they kind of remind me of, I used to go to, when I was a kid, we would go to Sundays, which is an ice cream parlor in my area. I think that's a chain. I don't even remember. Carvel's a chain. I don't know about Sundays. But I would get vanilla soft serve with black cherries. This kind of reminds me of those black cherries. They're not super tangy. They don't have a lot of acidity to them, but I guess just enough to preserve them, I hope. They do not taste medicine-y. These are nice. I like these. Would they? Yeah, I could have it in an old fashioned. I could have it in something like that. I think it would be okay in there. It's not a flavor that's going to stand up to a loud cocktail with like its own thing. It's a muted flavor, it's a mild flavor, but it's nice. It could be a real palate cleanser. It does not have those big humidor notes that so many of the other bourbon cherries have. Now that I kind of am honed in on that with the word bourbon, I might be picking up on it faintly, vanilla faintly, much more natural than those other ones. I have to say, I think this is one of the better cherries in the set. I mean, like the color even looks more real. Texture-wise, they feel like they have not been subjected to heavy firming agents, calciums, which is one of the tricks you do with these. Maybe some. A little mushy on the inside on that one, but is that like a common thing? They could have a little bit more chew. They could have a little bit more bite, if I want to give them a criticism. On the whole, very nice. Bricks, low 30s for sure. Low 30s. 34. One more Collins. I thought I was out of Collins hell. This one is spicy amarena. It's got a picture of a hot pepper. Is this like literally gonna be hot pepper cherry? Because that's interesting. You son of a bitch. What are you gonna do to me? This has that slightly translucent red look that I don't love. It doesn't look natural. It's not neon red. It's not like dark enough to be a Luxardo cherry. I spit because you are lukewarm, not because you are hot or cold. I spit you out because you are lukewarm. It is spicy. It's a hot cherry, which is actually really interesting. It's so weird. Wow. Guys, you did something crazy. That's cool. It is sweet and spicy. Does it remind me of ancho reyes? Kinda. No, because that's smokier, but like I want to say like crema de mezcal, a sweet mezcal liqueur. It's not smoky though. It's really interesting. Shit. Good texture on this one. It has a good shell-like skin. I don't think it was mushy, but I'm gonna try again. No, not mushy. It has a candy-likeness at the front. What is that? Shit, I'm so close to placing that. It's a candy, it's specific candy. It's not spiced candied like lollipop. I used to work with guys who ate those at lunch. Or like, you know, it's not spicy mango. Oh, but it is though. The first note reminds me of my grandmother used to bring over dried papaya. Yeah. Dried sweetened papaya. And I ate it all the time when I was a kid. She got bags of it from the Collingswood auction. If you're from New Jersey, you know what that is. And it's that. It's like the sweet dried papaya. I don't know what is responsible for that flavor. I couldn't tell you like, well, that's benzaldehyde 714. I don't know. But it reminds me of that, which is like a very mild, mellow flavor. And then it does it turns up the heat. It gets real spicy. Not real spicy. It was a ghost pepper. No, it's not a ghost pepper. It's like dry papaya. Gives way to like a vanilla note, which gives way to this like burning, this lingering, spicy thing. It's kind of interesting. What would I do with it? What cocktail am I drinking that I want a spicy cherry to go with? My mouth is going to say Caipirinha. My brain wasn't thinking that, but now I'm thinking, that's an interesting note. What the hell am I thinking of? The tequila, it's not grapefruit. So my proper noun aphasia is acting up. It's the tequila grapefruit drink. That one. I think it would go good in there. Paloma. Yeah, so I have a proper noun aphasia, which is an interesting thing, by the way, because it's not a noun aphasia. That tells you that proper nouns, the names of specific things, comes from a different part of your brain meat than other pieces of language. Put that in your noodle and think about it. And I have to dance around a word sometimes to unlock it. And in my head, I was trying to get to Paloma, and I had to remember the restaurant on the Upper West Side that had a really cool frozen pink Paloma, which is called Betty's. And that's how I was able to unlock Paloma. If you have seen the show, now it's happening again. The show with Natasha Lyonne, where she knows when people are lying. That's what it's like, because she has this all the time in the show. And it was so nice to be seen. Fuck. What is that? Natasha Lyonne is not Columbo, is the name of that show. Some people say it was her version of Columbo. I like the show, at least season 1. It's a poor imitation of Columbo, if that's what they were going. Just trying to do the dance here. I got nothing. I got nothing. Don't worry, I took my pill this morning. I've had that my whole life, by the way. My grandmother had it too. My mom's mom. She had the exact same thing. That's how I know it's genetic. It's not like, I've been hit in the head a few times. It's not from that. Gotta do the bricks. Totally forgot about the bricks. Hit the bricks, boys. I'm calling this one, ooh, it's spicy. 65. We nailed it, 65. I know a lot about cherry syrups. As I said, I've been working on making my own ones for a year. I got a lot of research in this. I'm still thinking about the Natasha Lyonne show. Is it Lyonne or Leone? I'm still thinking about her show. And my brain is saying Palmer Luckey. It's screaming it at me. But Palmer Luckey is the guy who made Oculus Rift, right? That was Palmer Luckey? I don't know. Traverse City Premium Cocktail Cherries. They got a Traverse City Whiskey Company, okay. They got a serious branding here. You know, you got the pinked edge and it's very cool. Let's see what we got going on here. That's an unusual aroma. It might be like a latex note. It kind of reminds me of painting. That translucent color red, that style red, big mush. Oh God, kill it. I hate it. It tastes like going to the carpet store at my parents when I was a kid. No bueno, Traverse City. You taste like carpet store. And I didn't even boil it for my Christmas dinner. Silly daddy. Bricks on this was 63%. I forgot to guess it. Sorry, I let you all down. Huge failure. Oh my God, 3 left to go. I'm ready to end this one. Lucky something is in the name of that show, right? Lucky luck, luckity. It's the worst. It's a very uncomfortable feeling when it flares up like that and you can't access the word. It's the mental equivalent of having a cut in your mouth that you keep sticking your tongue in. All right, Starlino Maraschino Cherries. Starlino makes, I know them because when I did the episode that almost killed me, the Manhattan Matrix, they make a vermouth that I saw and I had to buy because I've never seen it before. It is an intense vermouth, if memory serves. And a lot more about that day I remember than you might think. So I'm kind of interested in seeing what they got going on here with this. So, because, you know, they do interesting things, right? Perfetto per cocktails. Maraschino, Italy, Hotel Starlino. I wonder if Hotel Starlino is a real hotel, or if that's just their name. These are quite literally slightly translucent. I can just faintly see my cocktail pick through the cherry. Otherwise, it has a good, like, crystalline, glassy finish, you know, almost like a mirror. Good red color. It's hewing a little closer to neon than black, than dark, but it's making a choice. You know, it's not like right down the middle. It's a little bit more red. It has, my mouth is still kind of recovering from the spicy cherry, so it might be throwing me off a little. But great texture. Good shell, good chew. It's a little bit tangy up front. I like this one a lot. It's got those Christmas spicy vibes again. In a way, it's quite pleasant. There's a tartness to this, but it is balanced. You know, it's a fine line, I guess. It's not aggressively tart the way some of the other ones that were just, those are crazy. That's like sweet tart, you know. It has a kind of a lingering clove, I think it's clove-ish note that I find interesting. Yeah. Kind of, that's why I was thinking Christmas. Back to that candied ham studded with cloves and cherries. My other grandmother, that was her Christmas thing. Oh, I like it. I have no true complaints. I think this one belongs in the Pantheon. I would put it right up there with a Luxardo and whichever other ones I happen to quite enjoy. And I think it is an answer to the Luxardo. Some of the ones, the bourbony ones that I liked that had those big humidor notes in it, they are not trying to do the same thing. This really is, and I think it's doing it well. That said, I have to say, I mean, good luck finding it. It's on Amazon for sure. I'll put links to all of these, by the way. And yes, affiliate links. I have to leave. I have to live. I have to eat. It is in that vein. I don't know where you would find it other than online, but it's cool. I like it a lot. I guess it would really kind of come down to your personal tastes and You know, if this is triple the cost of Luxardo, or vice versa, your decision would be made for you, in my opinion. Oh, bricks. 65 off the top of my head. I put this one on the sweeter end of the spectrum. Oh, I'm a little shy. 68, really. Maybe even 69. 2 left. I'm ready to finish. Tillin Farms by Stonewall Kitchen, Bada Bing. I feel a little bad because I somehow wound up with like 3 or 4 imprints of Collins and 2 of Filthy and only 1 from Tillin. And I know Tillin makes a lot of different cherries and I just didn't. You know, you can only buy so many cherries when you make an episode like this. But I think that the Bada Bing is their sort of main offering in the world of cherries. They're trying to have stems. They don't all have stems. Middle Road, not glassy, translucent red is this Cereal Mom Blood Red. I've had a lot of cherries like this. This kind of reminds me of the Woodford Reserve cherry, but without the hint of vanilla and humidor note. Something comes in there at the end. It's pretty similar, actually. Wait a minute. Now I'm curious. Are they like exactly the same cherry? I think somebody might be white labeling. I think they're the exact same cherry. They're virtually indistinguishable from each other. Bricks. 33. I don't remember what the other one was. So, 32. Oh man, it's close. Here it is. The final cherry, my supermarket brand, Wegmans. I gotta say, I like Wegmans, but I have very few Wegmans branded anythings have I enjoyed. Translucent, red, not so bad. Could be brighter in my opinion. I like the texture. Yeah, I like this cherry. It's a pretty good cherry. Yeah, I like this cherry a lot, actually. I bet they're cheap, too. I would use these. This is a reasonable alternative to a Luxardo. That was a real surprise. It's in that vein. This is going for the imported Italian cherry style. It's in probably the same bricks category. I would say 70%, 65%. We'll find out. Has mildly clove vanilla notes. It does not have that super high acidity finish that I don't like in some of these. It does not have like powerful tobacco notes or anything like that. It's nice. It's a perfectly acceptable cherry for cocktails if you're looking for something like a Luxardo. And in fact, I had kind of halfway thought I should do a Luxardo again at the very end here. The color is very different. The Luxardo cherry has a much, and maybe my memory is wrong, right? Now we gotta, like the Luxardo cherry is darker, it's not so translucent, although I don't know, it is a little translucent. I never noticed that before. It's butterier too. After eating all those cherries, now I'm picking up on buttery notes and a hint of bitterness. All right, so the Luxardo cherry is definitively better. It's more nuanced, it has more beats, so to speak, in its flavor profile. It's a better cherry, but it's not bad. I think there's some cinnamon in there. It's funny how when you go back and forth, you pick up totally different things. Wow. Well, that was an absurd amount of cocktail cherries to taste, and I hope it was useful and fun. I had a kind of an interesting time. My stomach's gonna be a little upset now. Thank you guys so much for hanging out with me, and hopefully this will help you try out some new cherries for your cocktails. And think about that. Don't forget that my own cocktail cherries are on the way in like a week or 2 tops, and I'm very excited to share these with you. I'll see you guys next time on another episode of HTD. Till then, it's getting about bedtime, and I gotta go read one of my favorite books to my kids, My Side of the Mountain. Please do like and subscribe. I will see you guys next time on another episode of HTD. Good night and good luck. And thank you.